To Owen Hargreaves. I mean, we were just talking about the substitutions that Ollie made this evening. He waited until the 87th minute to do it. Is that a reflection of the fact he doesn't have the depth on the bench and therefore doesn't really have the belief those players are going to change the game for him? Otherwise, he does it earlier.
Well, I think it's difficult because I'm with Scholes here. I think the front three are so good. You know, if you can, ideally, you wouldn't change them. You know, Liverpool rarely change the front three, but, you know, they get, you know, some of those goals in crucial moments, and they probably should have got one. Martial had a great chance. When it falls to Greenwood, you just think it's going to hit the back of the net. So the goalkeeper's had an absolute worldie. You know, Igalo's had a good impact, but is he better than Martial, Rashford, or Greenwood? No, he's not. So, you know, you give those boys a chance and a platform. Mata had a good impact on the game last time he came on, but still, you've got Pogba, Fernandes. You trust those players to get you out of trouble. And I agree with Harry Maguire. I think he spoke great. You know, they probably should have won the game, but they didn't, you know. And then you need to look at yourself there and think, how come we didn't take our chances? How come we didn't defend in that crucial moment when we were in control of the situation? So I think there's a lot of positives this season for United. But going forward and winning titles isn't always about being the better team, the best team. It's just about being there in the decisive moment, which Scholes and Ince know, and they need to sort that out. Ole Gunnar knows that as good as anyone.
So what rebuild needs to happen for them to take that next step? I mean, Harry Maguire spoke about it there, didn't he? If we can take a big step next season, we can compete for titles. Where does this rebuild need to come from? What needs to happen?
It needs to improve the squad. It needs to bring more quality into the squad. We look at 11 or 12 players they've got and you think, yep, good enough probably. Is it good enough to close out, was it 20-point gap of Liverpool? I think it probably is, maybe to halfway, maybe to 10 points. But then can they get closer to Liverpool? I don't see it with this squad. I think they need to strengthen. You look at the bench tonight, he's got Igalo, who's a goal scorer. He brings him, I think he brought him on last out the 5 subs. Yeah, which tells you he's not got that much confidence in it. And you know, you look right across the bench and is there anybody that can change the game for you? One Mata, possibly in different types of game where it's a tight game, he's got a bit of quality. But really, you look at other squads, you look at the bench and you think they can come on and change the game. They've got 15, 16 players who can really challenge for a full year and challenge the players that are on the team. But United at that minute, they don't have that.
But remember, it's his first season in charge. He still made it to 3 semi-finals. They still finished 3rd in the Premier League this year. It remains a work in progress, but it feels like work is exactly what needs to be done for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And when we come back after the break, we'll hope to hear from the Manchester United boss and get his honest, but I'm sure disappointed reflections, not just on tonight, but on the season as a whole. They're still arguing over the goal that was conceded at the end that cost Manchester United a place in the Europa League final. We thought for a time they were going to be there thanks to another penalty from Bruno Fernandes. It wasn't to be. We can hear from him now.
Bruno, I know everybody will be distraught after that. Are you still coming to terms with what happened after such a positive start to the match?
Oh, I think more than a positive start. We do a great game. We create a lot of chances. But in football is not enough, you know. When you create chances, you need to finish, you need to score. And today we miss a lot in front of goal. Of course, if you keep create this kind of chances, you will score in the next times. Obviously, everyone, we are not satisfied about this now because we want to go through. We want to win the game and to be in the final, but was not possible today. Now it's time to rest, to refresh the legs and thinking in the next season.
Loads of chances, yes, but once again you were up against a goalkeeper who seemed to be inspired form, just like the quarter-final.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. The keeper did very well, of course, but I think for the quality we have, we need to score, you know. Of course, the keeper did very well today. It was amazing, like in the last night against Copenhagen. They did very good. Two good keepers. We can say nothing about that, of course, and we can say he saved his team more than 2 or 3 times.
The team was awarded 1 penalty tonight. Did you feel you should have had at least 1 more?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter now, you know. The referee did his job, did what he thinks is better for the game, did his best, so we need to look forward and improve.
We saw your anger after the second goal you conceded as well. What was said in the pitch? There was a bit of an argument, it looked like, between yourself and Victor Lindelof.
No, I think it's normal, when you take a goal in the last, we have 10 minutes after to score again. Everyone was mad, It's not about me or Vitor, it's about every team. What's happened between me and Vitor is nothing. It's normal. In football happens. Is looking for each other, Will be much more times these things happen in the football, in other teams and everything. The most important now is we need to see the mistakes everyone did and look forward to improving the next games.
Bad luck tonight. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
And the next game won't be long in coming. The new season's just around the corner, of course. Look, I mean, we've had a long chat in here in the studio about what United need to do to strengthen and reinforce. What they need, and it's not easy, is to find players that will come in and have the kind of impact Bruno Fernandes has had. If they can do that a couple more times, it will make a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, he's class. Again, today, you think about the penalty he scored, the amount of chances he created for the players that didn't take them. I think recruitment just shows you need players that can make a difference, and you need ones better than what you currently have. So Bruno's come in and big, magnificent. With Scholes, if Jadon's in there, Jadon Sancho, United probably win the game. He just creates so many opportunities for people. They need another centre-back, that's for sure. The full-backs, if Wan-Bissaka has a poor game, who's going to fill in there as well? So I think there's 3 or 4 areas where United, you don't need quantity, they need quality. Liverpool showed that. If they can get that, I think they're going to be a lot closer to Man City and Liverpool next season. OK, well, the message is certainly clear from the 3 people here in the studio to Ed Woodward. United need to spend. I'm sure the message will be similar as well from the United manager. And he has just emerged. In a few moments' time, Daryl Curry will grab hold of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We'll get his reflections on tonight and on the season, and we'll show it to you. Stay where you are. Welcome back. Not taking chances up front, giving away chances at the back. That's the story of the night for Manchester United. Here are the thoughts of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's with Daryl.
Well, Ole, given the balance of play, the number of chances you created as well, are you a little bit in shock that you didn't see that one through?
It's one of them that if you take your chances, you'll win comfortably. But that's not always the case in football. And I've got to say, we had moments and spells in both halves that we could have scored quite a few. But that's the thing, when you don't take him, it's going to be hard. We've got a young team that we had 3 years average, less than them, and I thought some spells today maybe showed that this group of players will have to learn and get the consistency in the play, because when they got the ball down, when we played, we pressed, created counter-attack chances. It's scintillating at times.
As a striker yourself, of course, who scored so many goals for the club, do you look at the chances you had tonight and you think poor finishing, or do you think just brilliant goalkeeping again?
I think the keepers had a fantastic game, and of course it's disappointing that we don't score, because we know that we've got players who've got that quality. But then again, that's the game.
The goals conceded, you must be quite angry about that as well, particularly the second one. It looked as if you had more than enough numbers in the box to deal with it.
Not just in the box, but the whole run up to the goal is disappointing. Of course, we're on a break. Anto gets fouled. Should have been a booking. Then we play for quite a while. We just win it back over here and then lose it, and then the recovery runs aren't good enough. And as you say, we should have stopped the cross. Maybe should have cleared the ball when it got in the box. It got a deflection off Brandon's thigh, so that changed the direction of the ball. But then again, 2 crosses to concede from is disappointing.
A few big calls by the referee, big decisions in the lead up to the first goal.
Yeah. It
was right in front of you. A throw-in for your team, surely?
Oh, yeah, but 100%. But that's what I mean about experience. That when you don't get it, you can't stop. You've got to stick with the game. We know it's our throw-in, but then it still ends up over the other side of the pitch and they get a cross in, so you can't say that is the reason.
You did get one penalty, but I think Bruno Fernandes in particular in the first half felt like you should have had another one. Do you also agree with that?
Yeah, and then because we got a corner of it, but he never touched the ball, did the boy? So he just ran straight through him. But then that's decisions. That's I don't want to be. I'm just accepting that both players and referees can make decisions that might not be the right one.
I know you wanted this so badly, but you can't let this take anything away from the progress you have made this season. I mean, is that a message you send to the players? Is it something you can take heart in yourself?
Yeah, of course. We've the last, say, since February, we've been fantastic. But then again, it's disappointing to go out. We've come quite a distance from where we were in February, and it's exciting to work with these boys. Then again, you see how tired they were towards the end. Tired legs, tired minds. So we'll need the break we can have now and then go again very soon.
Yeah, I know it's not far away, but
No.
do you feel there is a lot of work to be done this summer in terms of transfers? I know you desperately want to keep improving this club.
Yeah, we definitely need to improve if we want to move up the table and take steps further in the cups. I've never had 3 semi-finals in one season, and so that's one of them things that you're disappointed with as well.
Do you feel there is a bit of a lack of depth, though?
No, I'm saying that we're working to improve what we have. We've had spells with injuries. We've had spells with that players have played a lot. So we're always looking to improve the squad.
You know the fans always want a big signing to come in any window at a club like Manchester United. Do you feel that you can bring in a marquee signing, if you like, this summer?
It's not about marquee. It's about quality. We need, of course, when you're going to sign players, you need to have the right player, right personality, fit into the group, and make us better. We might look at it today and see where we need to improve as well.
I say marquee though because of course Jadon Sancho has been mentioned so many times. You've heard what Dortmund have had to say on it. Could a deal like that still happen?
I'm not commenting on other teams' players, unfortunately. That's just how the world works.
I thought that might be the case, but I tried anyway. Ollie, thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Jadon Sancho has been busy tonight on social media, tweeting some outrageous skill of his, talking about what a great pre-season he's having. I'm saying nothing. Owen, look, we've spoken so much about signings. I think we should talk about the manager and what he's learned this season. As he said there, 3 semi-finals. That's been a big learning curve for him personally, 3rd in the Premier League. What's he learned this season to equip him for the seasons to come?
I think he's learned that, since February, he makes a good point. United have been fantastic, so to finish 3rd from where they were, we were saying top 4 looked unlikely at the beginning of the season. So to finish 3rd, get to those cup semi-finals, I think, constitutes a decent season. But all he knows, the expectations are to win a title. And the only way they're going to get there is by adding quality. Liverpool did it. They had one window where Alisson and Van Dijk come in and they turn a really good team into a great team. Ollie's at that point now where his front 3 as good as anyone's in the division. The midfield with Pogba and Fernandes is pretty much as good as anyone. They need a defensive midfield player, a centre-back, and Jadon Sancho. And maybe a bit of cover at full-back. So 4 players, cost you a few quid, but it's worth it because, they need to get back to competing for titles. And I think they're close. I think Ollie deserves a lot of praise for getting them there and bringing in the right type. But now the club needs to back him and get in those players that can help make the difference. And I think they're close.
It comes back to signings again, doesn't it? Look, if I'd have said to you at the beginning of the season, 3rd in the league and 3 strong cup runs, you would have probably taken that, wouldn't you? Based on where they were?
3 semi-finals, probably not, no. I think Ollie's done really well from where the club has been for the 3 or 4 years previously to when he came in. I think he's made a huge difference. The style of football, especially as Owen said, from February, we've looked a different team. For 2 or 3 years, we didn't look like we could create a chance, let alone score a goal. But since Bruno came in, he's made a huge difference to this team. He made a dull team into an exciting team. Good young players coming in. Brandon Williams doing really well. Mason Greenwood, as we know. That's what United was all about. Losing 3 semi-finals, really disappointing. Look, tonight, the best team lost the game. There's no doubt about that. But you can't keep saying that. At some point, you've got to win these games. You've got to have the players who win you trophies and win you these games of football. At the minute, they're not quite showing that. And this is a club that expects to win trophies. It's been 3 years now without a trophy. And all of us know, as well as he's done to get them to semi-finals, the next step, he has to find a way to win something.
That's the point, isn't it? This is a job where you're expected to win titles, not get to semi-finals. Ollie is the man to do that, do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think them. Listen, I mean, are they going to give them that time? I don't know. I mean, but you look at what Klopp did. It took him 5 years to get the team that he's got at Liverpool now. You know, and we talk about, you mentioned Sancho and people like that. You know, they need a striker. They need a top marquee striker. Whether Martial's at one, I don't think so. Martial can play left, right, centre forward. They need a top striker. Scholes is spot on. Man United, you have to win trophies. Go back to the Chelsea semi-final. Didn't play a very strong side. You know, could have won that, could have won an FA Cup final. You know, again tonight, they should have won the game with enough chances. He talks about having a young team. It wasn't a young team. You had a very experienced team out there. You know, they should have won that game. And it's about taking these opportunities as players. And they didn't do that. Looking forward to the future. They've got Champions League football next year. Hopefully that will then allow them to get some world-class players in. But the signs are good. All the Man United fans want is hope. You know what I mean? And this year they've got some hope. But they want to win the trophy. And we've had 3 opportunities this year and not done anything.
But you have to give him time and resources.
Yeah, to be fair, for his first year in charge, they give him money to do that, and he spent it well. Now, what he's done there, he's proven that he can buy quality and bring quality to the club. So now they need to back him again. As Incy said, Klopp, it took him a little bit of time, but you always felt year on year there was something coming. Now, I think this is the first year in 5 years we felt like there's something good happening. Now, it still might take another 2 or 3 years, but you've got to give him the time to do it, and you've got to give him the money to do it as well.
And the money is the key thing. I remember we had an event here and there was some Liverpool hierarchy at the meal, and this was 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember saying, you know, you might have to spend 100 million quid to really get to where you want to, and they said, absolutely no way are we spending that kind of money. Then something changed, and they went out and they spent big, and it made all the difference. And look where Liverpool are. We thought, what did we say, 20 points ahead of United?
No, 30, I said.
33. It was 33. Right, of course, Man United are not going to be in the final, sadly. However, one of the 2 teams playing tomorrow evening here on BT Sport will be. Paul Dempsey's going to give us the latest. Paul.